We've had a lot of help from the people at Plumtree, which we probably wouldn't have found on our own. And it, like I always say to Sebastian's therapist and anyone here, I always say, if we hadn't found this place, you know, I don't know where we'd be right now. It's been a great journey, and it's helped Sebastian so much, and Sophia, our other child, as well. So I just thank my lucky stars every day that we came across Plumtree. So I found it on the internet, just searching for a place to bring Sebastian where he'd be around other children who have similar needs to him. We found out about his condition, and we didn't really know where to go from there. We read a lot of things on the internet, but we didn't have much help in really what was good for him. You know, we knew about speech therapy and occupational therapy and things like that, but we didn't really know where to get it from or how to access it. And Sebastian at the time was very, you know, he couldn't play with other kids. We couldn't take him to many places. So I had to research and find a place. I thought there has to be a place where, you know, other kids like him can play together. And I found Plumtree, and we came and we interviewed, and I guess that's where it all started. And from there, we came to the playgroup every week, and Sebastian, you know, started to get to know everybody, and he started to interact a little bit more, and he wasn't so into just me or his dad. And then we got given an individual time with a therapist with Sebastian, and that just helped immensely. And being able just to talk one-on-one with the therapist, even at playgroup and individually, I was able to ask all the questions I had that, you know, maybe Google couldn't tell me, or, you know, I didn't have answers for, and get some answers that I needed. Well, I was determined to really find somewhere for Sebastian where he could feel safe and belonging, because a lot of the times when we go out, he makes a noise. It's what we call his happy noise, and he's always so he's always very happy. We know he is, but people always comment to us, you know, what's wrong with him? Why is he making that noise? Or people will say things if he throws some epic temper tantrums, and there's always little comments here or there. I know people don't know and they don't mean it, but it's still, you know, it's heartbreaking when you know there's something wrong, but he doesn't have, you know, a visible disability. I guess it's an invisible one. And I was determined to find somewhere where he could go and feel like he belonged, and feel safe and feel comfortable, and where we could feel comfortable as well, because it was always upsetting to me, and my husband gets quite upset by it too, when we would go out as a family and people would make, you know, these comments offhand, and it's people you don't even know that do it, and we're like, okay, well. So I googled just children with autism or ASD playgroups, and a few websites came up, and I sort of looked at them more and more, and Plumtree was one of them. And it was close to us, and I'd never heard of it before, and I'm always a bit nervous about calling up people that I don't know, but I called them, and I emailed them, and they were really, really helpful. And, you know, we hadn't even got a proper diagnosis at the time. It was still pending, waiting for a full confirmation of his autistic disorder diagnosis. So we still were in the unsure stage. We didn't know what to do, but they said come in and meet with one of the therapists and have a chat. So we met with someone, and she was so lovely and just made us feel totally at ease. And we had Sophia, our daughter, with us as well, and we all felt very comfortable talking about the problems, and you know, we just didn't know anything, and she was really helpful in answering our questions, both about our son and our daughter. And we couldn't have asked for more help at the time. So, and then she said, yep, come along to the playgroup on Monday and see how you go. And that's how it all came about, I guess. So I just emailed, I can't remember, I would have just said, can I have some more information about, I think I said my son hasn't been given a full diagnosis yet, and I was just wondering, can I have some more information about your organisation? And Elif emailed back and said, yes, you can give me a call and we'll have a little chat. So I called her and I just let her know. She was really kind and helpful, I guess. So like, if people are a bit, standoffish, a bit abrupt, then I'm a bit like, oh. But she was really, really kind, really helpful. I'll make an appointment for you. Come in and meet us, and yeah. So
an invitation important?
Yeah, an invitation is important. So it was nice for her to say, come in and talk to us, because you wouldn't just come in on your own. You have to go through all the channels first, I guess. So I would never have just come down by myself and gone, hi, la la la. So she said that you could do that, and I said, I don't mind, we can come down here. So she said, we can do either one. We can have someone come out to you, or you can come here and see the facility and talk to someone here. So we opted to come here just to see it. It's easy. I think I had a response to the email within the same day, and then I called her back and we had the little chat, and she said, yes, come in for the appointment. So I think the appointment was on a Thursday. I called, it was the week after. And we came in because we wanted to see the facility and what everything was like. Sebastian is all right to take out, in first outings, so we weren't worried about that. We thought we will come and meet and see if he likes it and takes to it, and he did, and it was good. But it was very prompt and helpful, and it was just a kind, invitation to come in and see what was going on, which is important because, at the time you're a bit devastated when you're still waiting, so you just want the extra help and kindness and gentleness because you're still a bit fragile about everything. So yeah. When we first came and met with the therapist, we were still quite, we didn't really understand his condition. So he has autistic disorder. We didn't know what that meant, but at the time we didn't even know that. He was just diagnosed with a developmental delay with possible ASD. So we didn't know what one meant. Our doctor was very unhelpful. We had to go for second opinions. So being able to come somewhere and ask questions that you need answers to, or being able to find out about extra help you can get, and just explanations of words that you have no idea about. Like, you can read about autism, but you don't know how many types of autism there are, or autistic disorder, or ASD. There's just too many letters and words and delays, and it's very difficult. So having an invitation where someone just treats you with kindness, and they open their arms and welcome you in when you're just confused, and you're just devastated to know that your child has something wrong with them, I guess. It's just the best feeling to have someone just say, it's okay, it'll be okay, we can help you. And what questions do you have? We can help you with everything you need, which is what Plumtree did. So it was great. It really does help talking, because like I said, the internet tells you a lot too much, and then you get in your head that, well, he's got that symptom, oh my gosh, it could be that. What if it develops into that? What if he never does this? Oh, he should be eating gluten-free, but some people have success, but he might not have success. What if he doesn't? Or dairy-free, gluten-free diets, this speech therapy, vocal training. It's where do you start? Where do you stop? It's really it is overwhelming. And for me, and this is what I say to my husband, you you can't just take everything at face value on the internet, because he obsessively trawls the internet every day for information, and he says, but look, if he does this, then it works. I said, but it doesn't work for everybody. But we have to try it. We have to try it. So for me, coming in and being able to ask, Sebastian's individual therapist, and then all the rest of the people at the playgroups and the parents at the playgroups as well, if they've tried it, if they've had success, just being able to get a real life experience is much more helpful than the 1 in 100 person that might have success on a specific diet, or with a specific therapy, or with a specific doctor. It just doesn't work for everybody, what you find on the internet. And I think it's just important to remember that, to have your questions and ask them, and ask as many as you need, and repeat asking them, and try something new, but just bear in mind that it might not work. So if we hadn't found Plumtree, we'd be lost in cyberspace, trawling the internet for information, and maybe finding the right information one time, but maybe finding wrong information that's not right for our child. I think you do need to talk to somebody, and that person needs to see your child and how they work before you can sort of suggest, paths for you to take, or ideas for you to try, or sort of say maybe it's just not right for them. A big thing is they've never really been able to it's hard for them to play together with Sebastian's autism. She doesn't really understand what's going on. She always says, why doesn't he talk yet, Mummy? Why doesn't he want to play with me? And my heart breaks, and I don't know what to say. We just have to sort of say, at the moment, because he's still little, we can say, oh, he's still a baby sweet. So the way we made the decision in what to purchase with the funding, Joe, my husband, and I talked a lot about it at home, and we know Sebastian and Sophia like to spend a lot of time outside, but our backyard has no shade whatsoever. It's right under the flight path as well, and sometimes the planes look like they're coming on top of your house, and Sebastian sort of freezes and gets a little bit wary. But they love being outdoors and in the little splash pools and sand pits. So we thought, well, we really need something outside for them, but it was just a little bit out of realm of what we probably would have kept putting it off until we needed to. But with the funding, we were able to buy a large marquee which covers pretty much the whole backyard. So yes, it's a small backyard, so it's not that big, but yeah, it covers most of the backyard. So we know summer's going to be really hot, but outside is really the only time that Sebastian is at peace, and he can sort of do what he wants. He loves to dig, so we always have sand pits and things around, and some dirt and mud and water play, and that's where he feels most calm. And Sophia loves it as well, so we thought it benefits both of them, but obviously it is beneficial for Sebastian. And we talked to the staff about it, and they agreed that yep, that was a good idea for the funding, so we put that on our list. And then another thing we know Sebastian really likes is he likes to be in tents or in cubby houses to feel he feels safe, or he feels relaxed in there. It's a safe spot for him. So we had just a cheap little pop-up tent, but he would always drag it around and put it where he wanted, and we thought, well, let's get something a bit more sturdy for their bedroom, and then he can sort of go in there, and he likes to open and close doors and open and close windows. So I said, let's get something like that so he can feel like he's closing himself in. And again, we talked to the therapist, and she said, yep, that's a great idea. So we bought a a big cubby house for their bedroom. They can both fit in it and they can both stand in it. And Sophia, you know, we have to always think that of Sophia as well, because even though it is for Sebastian, we try not to, you know, oh, this is just for Sebastian or this is just for Sebastian, because, you know, we have to pay a lot of attention to Sebastian and we never want her to feel left out, or, you know, that you don't want your children to think you like one more than the other. So we always have to make sure we're getting you both a cubby house. We're getting you both a big tent for outside where you can be safe from the sun. And so we try not to, even though, you know, it is Sebastian's funding and we think about what Sebastian wants, we do also include our other child in those decisions, because you can't not, basically. So yeah,